Hello everyone, good to be back. Today we're going to look at a nice game from the Amber Rapid tournament in 1994 between Dr. John Nunn with the white pieces, one of England's strongest grandmasters for a very long time, and with the black pieces, none other than fan favorite grandmaster Yasser Seirawan, who was rated 2585 at the time. Started off as a Caro-Kann E4 C6 D4 D5. For those of you who do not know, Yasser was a known Caro-Kann specialist, and this game is interesting because Nunn um, played this system for knight c3 in the advanced variation, and Nunn could be considered a specialist in this line. So this game is very interesting with this contrast of styles and both players having a debate in the line where they both have deep knowledge. All right. So this knight on c3 is a flexible knight in this system. In this game, it's going to end up all the way on h8, but sometimes it'll stay put, and white will simply uh, play very aggressively and end up castling queenside in some games. Sometimes that knight will end up merely on g3, and then later on this pawn will be pushed on c4 to attack the center. If you're interested in this line, I would suggest you look up some of John Nunn's games in this line. So e6, g4. And of course, it's an attempt to show that the bishop on f5 is a little bit misplaced, and at the same time provoke black into weakening his king side, all right, in order to facilitate some attacking chances, all right. And of course, the most obvious thing is that the move also gains space on the king side. So bishop g6 is played, knight ge2, c5, attacking the center. There's h4, gaining more space on the king side, and now h5. So black has to often make the choice whether to play h6 or h5. h6 allows white to take even more space on the king side with the move h5. However, the move that's played h5, although it keeps white from advancing his h pawn, it does give up the g5 square. Knight f4, and now Seirawan decides to make what I consider a slight or error in the game, or if not an error, a risky move. He plays knight c6 and continues with his attack on the center. Now bishop h7 seems to be a normal looking continuation. However, he has to consider the loss of the h pawn here after after bishop h7. I'm not sure that white has too much here after knight takes h5, because he takes d4, drawing the queen into the center, can then be met by bishop takes c2. And for example, bishop g5, then queen a5, for example, queen d2, getting out of the way of, say, a future knight c6, and also attacking the bishop on c2, bishop h7, knight b5, offering a trade of queens, bishop b4, knight c3, and the game is up for grabs at that point. It's pretty equal. Yasser decided to attack the d pawn straight away, and this allowed Nunn to create some more imbalance on the board after playing knight takes g6, f takes g6, and now here's the knight moving to e2. All right, so now white has some structural issues to harass black about. Not only does this knight move plan on again, moving up the board, f4, g6, etc. Right now, it's protecting the pawn. H takes g4 happen. Now knight f4, attacking g6. So knight h6. If knight takes d4 here, then white will play queen takes g4. So Seirawan decided to fortify this pawn first. So knight takes g6 happened, and then knight takes d4. So he continued on with this plan. Now you notice this rook is in jeopardy. Rook g8 was better in hindsight, although we can say that white has an advantage here. Instead, knight takes d4 was played, and Yasser has the clear idea of coming here. So it's not that he overlooked the rook, it's just that he miscalculated in the position, misjudged it. So knight takes h8 was played, and now knight f3, with Yasser expecting a sample variation like this, king e2, knight d4, check for instance, and after king e1, maybe he can repeat the position. And then if white decides to do something else, then it becomes a little unclear. Alright, so Yasser might have felt that, he'll be shaking hands soon and the game will be over, or maybe he'll have a chance to catch white, getting too adventurous with his king. John Nunn played a devastating move here that completely flipped the evaluation in this game. And Nunn was a fantastic tactician. A lot of people don't mention him a lot as far as when it comes to talking about combinations and things like that. But if you look at some of his games, just some fascinating combinations. Great attacking player. Nunn played the amazing move queen takes f3. So he gives up the queen here for a sustained attack. Notice the open diagonals here for white. So after g takes f3, the bishop came to b5. Alright, and this immediately forces Seirawan to give up his queen. The reason is because after king e7, then the other bishop delivers mate in a beautiful manner. Here you talk about the power of the two bishops. So after bishop b5, queen d7, no doubt, I think Yasser overlooked this. Bishop takes d7, king takes d7, and now bishop takes h6, full liquidation into an advantageous ending. Yasser goes on adrenaline for a few more moves, and then he is forced to resign. So our star move of the game is definitely this move right here. Queen takes f3. So I hope you enjoyed that game. Please like, subscribe. Check the links down below for DVDs and books related to this opening, and there's also a donate button down there. I'll see you guys on the next video. I welcome all your suggestions and comments, and I'll see you soon.